Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are now tuned into Breakfast with the Brand. I am your host, Shaan Rais. We have Junior Frederick here. We have the phenomenal Mr. B, Mr. B, Jason Bunkley on all of the digital media, all of the media. Gentlemen, good morning.
Hey, good
Good
morning.
morning. Good
What's
morning.
up? How's everybody feeling? How's everybody doing?
Great.
Absolutely phenomenal. No complaints whatsoever. Top of the morning to everybody.
Yes,
Listen
sir.
on YouTube, Facebook, top of the morning.
Top of the morning.
Yeah, top of the morning.
All right. So yes, last week we had a phenomenal guest, YB. I hope you guys jumped in with him and went to LinkedIn to preserve and professionalize your LinkedIn profile. We're gonna have a guest every single month on the second week, right? The second week, I believe next week we're gonna be doing insurance because, because as an entrepreneur, you're going to need insurance, right? Insurance or real estate, one of the other. I'm speaking with individuals and professionals from both industries, guys. Listen, every second week of the month, I'm going to be bringing you industry professionals from multiple different industries. I'm going to be pulling out of my Rolodex, right? The people that I know and know are ethical. So if I bring anyone before you, they will take care of you. All right. So I just wanted to put that out there real quick. I know we got a lot of questions to get into, but I just want to let everyone else speak. Junior, you have any words, Mr. B?
Yes, sir. I mean, it's always a sunny morning here in the islands. In fact, I just came from outside. I was driving right next to the beach. I almost stopped and pulled over actually, and I was about to do the breakfast with the brand on the beach, but I said nah. I
Now you
said
hear this
nah.
guy.
I sort
You
of
hear
hold
this
back
guy,
on it a
Mr.
little bit.
B?
Yo, I already know what the response is gonna be. So I sort of held back on it a little bit. People be like, "Oh, you're making me jealous," but trust me, I am gonna do it. I won't say when though. I would say when. I just want to say good morning to everybody sort of listening. We have people just coming in. I see Jenny actually. Jenny, good morning, Jenny. Good morning. Good morning. Yes. So Mr. B, how's everything on your end?
Everything is good. We just over here making it happen, driving a little bit.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
just
right.
making things happen over here on this end. But it's a good morning and it's Saturday. Let's do it.
Let's
Do
go.
it.
Let's go. Just to give everybody a little bit of context, where are you located, Junior, before they hear you talk about driving on the beach? Where are you located? They might think you're in Virginia Beach.
Nah, nah, it's not the DMV. It's not the DMV. No, I love the DMV. I know a lot of people from the DMV, but it's not the DMV. It's actually it's Saint Lucia. That is the Caribbean. That is the Caribbean. So if you don't know where that is, I live where people go for vacations. Right? I live I live I live where people go for vacations, and I live where. Oh, by the way, quick fact. Did you know that Saint Lucia is the number one honeymoon destination in the world? Did you know that?
No, no,
It
I
is.
didn't.
So guys, if you're thinking about getting married or you're thinking about renewing your vows, I know we have a lot of married people looking, renewing your vows, definitely come over to St. Lucia. We'll solve all your problems.
Wow, wow. So it's like a dream come true over there, huh?
Yes, you already know the typical get married, ride off into the sunset, that sort of stuff.
That's the
This is the
sunset.
place.
So
This is
the
the
sunset
place.
is where you
Yeah,
live. You live in the sunset.
that's right. I live in
Man,
the
I don't
sunset.
know, man. A lot of entrepreneurs trying to get money, trying to build their business so they can live or go somewhere, visit somewhere where you wake up every morning, huh?
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. But
Wow, wow.
it's
Okay,
something
and
else though.
what
Yeah,
else?
I was just saying a lot of people from your country want to come here, but a lot of
Huh.
people from my country want to go where you are. You right?
Oh
So
wow.
it's very yeah, it's very it's not strange,
Grass
it's
is
very normal actually.
it's
It's
like the
very
grass is
normal.
greener.
Yeah, yeah.
The
Yeah, but we
grass is
know the
greener.
grass is greener where you water it, right?
Oh. Okay.
That's right.
I just wanted to say something, guys. This is the business breakfast with the brand, right? Before you think this is just a, conversation or just just banter back and forth. This is about business breakfast with the brand, right? So if you're a coach, speaker, CEO, entrepreneur, writer, vlogger, author, head of an organization, manager, leader, at all, executive, we'll be going over all of those topics and also helping you to build not only your mindset, but your life set so that your business can be set. All right. So I know when we have a guest, we're not able to really get into any questions, but I do want to keep the Q&A piece. So I've heard that there are some very interesting questions in the queue.
Most definitely, there is. Now, before I get into it, let me say a quick good morning to Mr. David Matthews. Good
Okay.
morning to you, sir.
Good
We
morning.
also have Jackie. So, Jackie, good morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Thank you so much for tuning in. So, let's get into it. The first question, it's actually a pretty simple question. Well, let's see. It's from Victor from Chicago, actually. So, Victor from Chicago, he asks, how do I start my YouTube channel?
Wow. Well, let me tell you how I did mine. As a matter of fact, I did it with a BlackBerry, right? We're gonna go back a little bit, right? All you need is a phone, guys. I guarantee it. Like your phone. You don't need a million cameras. You don't need a lot of equipment. You don't need lights, camera. All you need is action. You do need action. You don't need the lights, you don't need the camera, but you will need action. So this is what I did. I literally, and I worked full time, student, full time employee. But my organization had a basement, right? One of those old organizational basements, right? So there's literally, if you can picture white cinder block, that's what it was, white cinder block with paint. And I went in there, I got a little phone stand and I set my phone up. It wasn't this phone, it was actually the phone in back of me. It was a BlackBerry. A BlackBerry. So it didn't have the microphone, it wasn't super equipped, it was just a phone. That's it. I used the phone and I used an app. What was the app that I used, Mr. B? It started with a K.
Kind Master.
Kind Master.
Kind
Thank
Master.
you. Thank you. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I used Kind Master and I would literally shoot these videos, and in less than 5 minutes, I would edit them. In less than 5 minutes in the app, I would edit them. Intro, outro, logo, overlay, as well as music, right? So we had the music, we had the intro, we had the outro, we had the overlay, we did the whole thing. And this is before I even met anyone on this call. This was me going to my job. I would shoot videos before I took the Long Island Railroad, cut them up and edit them on the way to my job. And before I came out of the train station, boom, they would be on YouTube. And then throughout the day, I would follow up on the comments and follow up with the leads that responded at all. I could shoot 5 videos in less than 1 hour. So I would literally have the entire week's worth of videos in less than 1 hour. I might have invested, I think KindMaster was $5 a month, guys. $5 a month. So you guys out there with phones that are watching people's YouTube videos and channels, you have the power to create your own YouTube videos and channels and build your brand right inside of your phone, right inside of the comfort of your home, or even worse, what I did in my job's basement. I also would shoot videos 3 o'clock in the morning I wouldn't recommend this, but I would do it while I was driving, right? I would be driving to the gym and I would literally have one hand on the wheel and one hand on my phone. Like, yo, guys, listen, this is exactly what you need to do to change your life, right? So I'm not gonna tell you to do that, right? But that's one of the things that I did. One thing that I want you to understand in building your YouTube channel, your fan base, building a business, building a relationship, building anything, you have to be resilient, which means do what you can with what you have now, and you have to be tenacious. You have to have tenacity. So don't let anyone discourage you. I don't care if nobody watches your stuff. They're still watching your stuff. I guarantee it. And if they're not watching your stuff, when they finally do begin to turn around and watch your stuff, you'll have a year's worth of work. That's a body of work behind you. So all you have to do to start your YouTube channel is start your YouTube channel.
Well, that was quite the philosophical answer, right? All you need to do to start is just get started. I want to send a quick I want to send a quick shout out to, it seems Tasha is on the line. Is that the
Yes,
powerhouse?
I see. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. What's up?
Good morning, team. How are we doing today?
Very good.
Good morning.
Oh, doing great.
I am
Welcome,
well, thank
welcome.
you.
Okay. Okay.
Right, nice. Most definitely. All right. So that was, I mean, so when I hear your story, like every time I hear your story, I think about this movie called The Pursuit of Happiness. You know that, right? With Will Smith.
Yeah, I do.
What's the guy's name? The character.
Chris Gardner.
Chris, that's right. Chris Gardner. Every time I hear your story, that's exactly what I think about. The Pursuit of Happiness. And I think
he's a phenomenal individual too, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that movie for me is one of my favorite movies. Actually, and the reason why it talks about tenacity, just like you were saying, tenacity and pushing through, and it's really like what the entrepreneurial journey is like. So, I absolutely love that movie. Absolutely love that movie.
Likewise.
Yes, sir. So the next question, and if you just started tuning in, I want to say good morning. If you come in, put some flames in the chat so we know that you're with us, right? So we know that you're with us. Quick shout out to Jenny. I see Lila. All right. So Janet from New Jersey. So she says, "Hey Shaan,
who is it? I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. Who's the person?
Oh, it's Janet. Janet.
Okay.
That's right, Janet.
Jersey. All right.
Yeah. So she says, "Hey Shaan, thank you for all of the content that you put out on a daily basis. I stumbled upon your YouTube channel last week, and your videos have started opening my mind to new possibilities with branding.
Good.
My question is this: how do I manage a small business while having a family, also going to school, and having a full-time job?"
That's a great question. That's a great
Yes,
question.
it is.
Let me see. I have no clue. No, I did it myself. So let me give you some background on me, right? So I started my business, full-time student, full-time father, full-time husband, full-time employee, and an author, right? So I do so many things, right? And I want you to understand that to be the CEO of a business, you have to start off doing all of those things. So we had a talk on Clubhouse, Phenomenal Friday. Shout out to Phenomenal Fridays. We had a phenomenal meeting last night on Clubhouse, right? Register for it if you're not already, right? And we discussed those elements of entrepreneurship, right? Those elements of entrepreneurship. One of them is a technician. And that's usually where you begin your journey. So the 4 phases of entrepreneurship: technician, acquirer, inheritor, and creator. Again, technician, acquirer, inheritor, and creator. As a technician, you have to do everything. So that's why I say small hacks like that kind master I just gave you to start the YouTube channel. It literally took no more than 10 minutes every day before I realized I could shoot 5 in a day, right? And do all of them for the entire week. It took 10 minutes a day for me to do my YouTube channel and make it appear as if I had a post-production and pre-production and media company. 10 minutes. I had a full standing. Now, the next thing that I did was I scheduled my social media posts. I scheduled my social media posts on the same day for the entire week, or sometimes even for the entire month. On one day, I would take one day, maybe a Sunday, Saturday, early in the morning. One thing that I did was I started waking up earlier because I had more things on my table. I had more things on my plate. So that's something you can do. You can literally, so people say that I only got 24 hours in a day, Shaan. If I only had more time. Okay. What time do you wake up? 6 o'clock? Let me put more time on your clock. Wake up at 4 o'clock. That just gave you 2 hours. In those 2 hours, you can shoot the video, manage the channel, and set up your entire social media calendar. One day. Just one day. Sunday, Saturday. You're not working that day. And if you wake up with the family, 7 o'clock, everybody starts getting up, then get up at 4. So you can do what you need to do in order to be what you want to be and have what you need to have so you can live more and give more. These are the sacrifices that the CEO makes. This is the sacrifice that the visionary makes. These are the things that we do on a regular basis to become who we are so that we can feed and provide for the people that we feed and provide for. You have to have, let me say it this way, you have to have a hunter's mentality. A hunter wakes up very early before the light comes up. And they get in the brush, they get into position very early. Before anyone starts to move, they're already in position. So that when people start to move and the animal starts to move, they're already set. And they can just hit them. That's what you have to do as a CEO. You have to hit it every single day. And you can't do that living like everyone else. So you have to wake up a little bit earlier, go to sleep a little bit later, do a little bit more. Another thing that I used to do while I watch this now, I'm gonna tell on myself in some of my former early morning, like, okay, so my earliest clients, watch this, they're like, what? Are you serious? My earliest clients got their coaching session while I was on my lunch break. My earliest clients got their coaching session while I was on my lunch break. You have to be strategic, Janet. You have to be strategic. Pockets of time have to be maximized. I would literally go to lunch and get on the phone immediately. One coaching client, half hour, boom. Next coaching client, half hour, boom. Knock out 2 a day. Coaching sessions. While I was walking, feeling the energy, giving the energy, being the person, providing the service. These are things that you have to do, and there's no way around it. So you have to reinvent yourself to be a critical thinker, time manage. You have to manage your time, and you have to have a different mindset. Creativity, innovation, action. That's how you do it. And if you can, now watch this. If you can, get the family in on it. Make it a family project so that nobody's against you and you're not making excuses for why you can't be at an event. Now the event becomes the business, mommy's business. Give them roles, delegate roles out. Children are phenomenal on the internet. Children are absolutely phenomenal. Right now, my children know more about YouTube, Facebook, Instagram than I do all day. Let them become a part. It's not about how you can do it while having this on the side. Incorporate it. So Jack Welch, former manager of GE CEO, said, and he was the CEO of the century, right? Legend. Everyone should know him. If not, you should read his story. Jack Welch said there's no such thing as work-life balance. He said there's no such thing. And he coined the term work-life integration. So think of strategic ways that you can incorporate your professional life with your personal life and make it one. That's what I would say.
Did anybody else hit a mic drop? That was super powerful. I'm still thinking about what you just said. But you said something there inside there that's so powerful. I really want you to touch on that a little bit because I don't want that to get lost in translation.
Okay.
When you talk about the numbers, the calendar, you scheduling out your time.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about numbers? Numbers. When I say numbers, I mean, how are you managing the hours, the minutes, the seconds?
Okay.
Like the details, the numbers, the
Yeah,
days. Like
I
that
gave
is
this out. Yeah, I gave this out during our high-end luxury closers training, right? So we're literally in the middle of a deep training in closing high-end luxury numbers. And one of the things that has made me as successful or as equipped or as able as I am is managing minutes. Everybody says time management, right? But it's really a matter of managing the actions within the moments, because that's what everybody has. Everybody has moments. Nobody has extra time, guys. You don't build a business on your extra time. Trust me. You don't build a business in your spare time. You don't do anything in your spare time, because there is no spare time, especially if you're a high performer, or especially if you want anything phenomenal out of life. If you want anything phenomenal out of life, you don't know what extra time looks like. So what can we do? We can super perform and optimize the time that we have. How do we do this? Every 15 minutes. 15-minute blocks. So you shouldn't look at from 9 to 5. Like people, so your job wants you to look at from 9 to 5, and they want to manage your time from 9 to 12 and then from 1 to 5. The way you need to look at it is, what do I do from 9 to 9:15? What do I do from 9:15 to 9:30? From 9:30 to 9:45, and from 9:45 to 10. What do I do from 10 o'clock in the morning to 10:15? This is where you put your strategic time blocks. And when you're able to focus and concentrate your energy, let's focus and concentrate your energy. The sun warms everything. Everybody gets warm. Everybody enjoys some of the sun. Junior might enjoy more of the sun than anybody else, right? But when you're able to harness, focus and concentrate the energy. Look at the sun as an example. When you focus, harness, and concentrate the sun's light, it becomes a laser that can cut through diamond. When you focus and you concentrate your mind's energy and your power and potential, you can do anything at all in 1/3 of the time with 1/2 of the effort.
Guys, I hope you all got that. Put some
Master
flames in
your
the chat if you got that.
Master your moments. Master your moments.
Put
Okay,
some
let me
flames
say it
in
this
the
way.
chat.
I'm sorry. Let me say one more thing, Junior. One of the ways that I did
Yeah.
it, was using this system. What I was able to do, because I looked at my life probably around the age of, I'm a late bloomer, right? So probably around the age of 30, 20, 29, 30, maybe 34 or 5, right? I looked at my life and I said, hold on now, how can I get 3 days in one? How can I get the work done? So I need the progress of like 15 years. But I don't have the 15 years to dedicate to this if I was normal, like everybody else. If I look at it differently, though, if I shift the perspective, how can I get the work of 5 years done in one? And that was mastering the moments. Mastering the moments and looking at those 15-minute increments changed everything for me. I was literally able to get the work of 3 years done in one and 15 years done in 5.
Yo, that's crazy. Am I the only one hearing this? Yo, I know I'm not the only one hearing it. I want to send a quick shout out. I see Charmaine, I see Tracy, Deborah. Shout out to all of you. Thank you for sort of tuning in. Guys, if you also have questions, we are not like on Zoom, but we are still present. So
That's right.
feel free to put your questions in the comments. We could see all of your questions. So please feel free to put those questions down. All right. So the next question is from an anonymous, actually. So this is an interesting question. So it says, "Hey Shaan, I was just curious. We always hear you say that you are very close to getting 2 PhDs. How is the school coming along? How is the progress?"
That's why it's anonymous, huh? That's why it's an anonymous question. Okay. So the school is phenomenal. School is absolutely phenomenal. I'm doing some really great things. So I've gone all the way through one, the PhD in organizational development and change. I'm all the way through. I'm all but dissertation, and I've got the dissertation waiting, right? So knock off the small stuff and save the big piece for when it's time, right? And I'm about 3/4 through with the educational doctorate, the Ed.D. in leadership for change. So I might have maybe 6 more months of coursework. And when I'm done with the coursework, what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine those two dissertations, create a project which is based on the work that I've been able to do in the real world, right? And that'll be the dissertation for both degrees, and I'll end up with both of them. And I've already got my eyes on the third, actually. But school is phenomenal. School is phenomenal. Let me tell you, it's being engaged, guys. It's being engaged. It's staying engaged, and it's staying in a state of development and growth. It's staying in a state of development and growth. It's one of those things that have helped me to do what I just said the last moment, which was harness and direct and concentrate the focus. You have to stay engaged. And not only do you need to grow your business, you need to grow as an individual. And not only do you need to grow as an individual, you need to grow your relationships. There's a lot that a human being is a multifaceted, well-rounded individual. And if you don't address those different areas, health, rest, relationships, recreation, if you don't focus on all of those at once, then you're going to be hit. You're going to be hit. And one of those areas is going to suffer. And you want to make sure that you don't leave any area unattended. That's the thing. You don't want to leave any area unattended. So thank you for asking. It is absolutely phenomenal. As soon as they convey and confer those, I'll let everyone know. Trust me, I'm waiting myself.
Yeah, I know that. I know that for sure. I know that for sure. Quick comment. I want to read a quick comment. Send a quick shout out. I see Jackie Chong. So
Okay.
he says it's like reverse engineering. We don't have to wait 1 year to see the result. We could see the result just by looking at how we manage that 15 minutes. So that is very, very true.
That's right.
Very, very
You
true.
become
So
the
shout out
person.
to Jackie.
Yeah, thank you.
Definitely.
That's right.
Definitely. So we actually have another anonymous, right? Another anonymous. So he says, or she says, I don't know.
One or the other, right?
Yeah, one or the other, right? So they say, let's use they, right? Hey Shaan, why and how did you get started?
I think I kind of probably gave all of those things. I got started. The first thing that I did was I wrote the book, which is why I teach that in Branded Like a Leader. I teach you in the second week of Branded Like a Leader how to write a 300 or more page book in less than 30 days. And the reason why I teach that is because it was so instrumental in my process. I won't say success because success is defined by everyone differently. The process, right, is so instrumental in my process. That was the first thing that I did. I was in my undergrad. Well, let me say this. The first thing I did was made the decision, right? So a lot of you are kind of on the walls. You're not really sure who you're going to be, what you're going to do, and you have yet to commit. So I made the commitment first. Then when I made the commitment, my process looked like going to school. So I went to school. And in school, I had a project to do that was about 16 pages, right? So I did the 16 pages. I was done with the article. And then I continued to write. I don't know, it just bubbled up in me. So I started to write on paper. And about 10 pages in, I said, hold on, this is not something I should be writing on paper. This is something I need to type, because if I need to type it later, I don't want to have 500 pages. So I started typing and I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop. And I ended up, once I got to about 25, 30 pages, then I said, okay, I need to put this in a framework. So I used one of those frameworks from school that is called an annotated bibliography. And that's how I did my table of contents and broke my book into sections. I used an annotated bibliography. So let me tell you something. Sometimes you'll be drawn to something and you won't know why. But there's somebody playing chess at a higher level than you are. We play chess, but there's someone playing chess with people. There's someone playing chess with people that are playing a higher game than you. So for some reason, I was drawn to go to school. And I did. I committed. I made the decision. I said, let's go. And in that process, one of my most hated classes was one that included the annotated bibliography. Despised it. Saw no purpose for it. But when I got started writing my book, and when I said, okay, I need to put this in a framework, the annotated bibliography came right back into my mind. And I said, oh, I can put this whole thing right in here. And I had a framework for the book. It was perfect. Now I teach it. And I've made multiple tens of thousands of dollars teaching this one thing that I learned from school. So never discount your energy or your effort or your experience in something. Go where your spirit calls you and draws you, right? So that's the first thing I did. I wrote the book. And then when I wrote the book, I didn't stop. That's what a lot of people do. They take one step forward, 2 steps back. I took 1 step forward and 5 more after that. So I began to contact people. I began to build my database. I began to network with people. I began to go to events, go to conferences. I found who was doing what I needed to do and what I wanted to do. And I made the investments to go where they were. I made the investments to stay in the area, to concentrate, harness the energy, harness the focus, right? And I learned from those who had more experience than myself. That's what I did. And then I shut up, listened, and did what they said. That's what I did. I shut up, I listened, and I did what I was told. And here we are right now. So that would be my real advice, right? Get to work, follow your spirit, finish what you start. Realize that when you finish what you start, you're not finished. You're just finished with that project. See the project manager? Shatasha, you go from one project to the next project to the next, don't you? You go from one project to, huh?
Yes, I do. I go from one project to the next project. Everything has a timeline.
That's right. One project to the next to the next. So I finished the book. That was one project. Then I had to meet the people that I needed to meet to push it to the next level. That was another project. And then I had to develop my speaking skills and speaking ability. That was another project. And then I had to begin getting speaking engagements. That was another project. Right? So don't finish when you complete something. Always segue into the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And before you know it, I'll be interviewing you on Breakfast with the Brand.
Now, that was super powerful. Needless to say, but you did drop a gem that I think might have got lost in translation. You said something. You said you didn't do one thing, you did 5 things.
Yeah.
So what I heard was taking massive action. That's what I heard. Now there's different types of action. Right, guys? There's different types of action. There's no action. There's just enough action. And then there's massive action, right? So Shaan didn't do one thing, he did 5 things. He did 5 things to get the one result. Most people quit when they do one thing. They don't take enough action. Right. That's what I heard you saying. And that goes for everything. That goes for sales as well. Like if you can't contact one person in sales, right? You have to contact like 5, like 10, and then 10x that. You have to go massive. So you have to take massive action in everything that you do. Right. I just wanted to point that out before we move on to the next one. Yeah, right, guys. So if you're enjoying the show, go ahead, Shaan.
No, I was going to say, I know sometimes we take a break, but I know we've got a lot of questions. I don't even want to do a break. Honestly, like if we could just flow right through, we got what, 25 minutes. Let's give the people what they came for as if they paid for it. We try to over deliver. You don't listen. You want to monetize free, but also what I'm going to say to you is you want to do what you love, because when you do what you love, you won't need a break. So let's go right through it.
That's right, guys. So if you're enjoying the show and if you don't want to break, put some flames in the chat. If you're enjoying the show, put some flames in the chat. Right. I know I'm definitely enjoying the show. And listen, I'm with Shaan every day, right? I'm with Shaan every day, but even what he's saying right now is really opening my mind. It's really opening my mind, right? So if my mind is blown, I could only imagine like what you guys feel, right? I could only imagine that. So put some more flames in the chat if you want us to, like, no breaks today, no break day.
No
Right,
breaks.
we're gonna go
No
straight
breaks.
into it. No breaks. All right. So the next question is Crystal from Florida, right? So
Okay.
she says, how do I develop a morning routine?
Oh, a morning routine. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, I see Tasha smile.
Okay.
Tasha smiling.
Okay. Okay. First, wake up early. So let me give you a backdrop. Let me give you a story. I try to weave stories into every point and weave points into every story, right? So first, don't tell a story without a point. Don't tell a story without a point, and don't provide a point. Try to provide a point without a story, right? I learned that from Les Brown. Points and stories go together. They have to interweave. Content plus context. Okay, so I woke my children up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and they were young. My daughter was 5. I woke them up at 5 o'clock in the morning. They had to be in school at 8 o'clock. I woke them up at 5 o'clock, and the first thing they did was sit down and meditate in a circle. Meditation first. Then they would go wash up real quick, and we would hit the park. In the park, they would do pull-ups, push-ups, and dips. Full body exercise. We called it around the world, right? Around the world. Those who know. No. In the hood, we call it going around the world, right? Pull-ups, push-ups, and dips. All you need is a jungle gym. You do not need a gym membership. You don't need any of that stuff. People add so much stuff, they never get stuff done. They always complicate things. So I want to tell you this first: simplify to amplify. Simplify to amplify. So I took them to the park and they did around the world. They would have 10 sets done before the crack of dawn. 10 sets done before the crack of dawn. And while we would be leaving, probably around 6:30 to 7, while people are going to get their coffees and their donuts and their butter rolls, we're walking past them going back home. They're sweating and they're drenched and they're in peak state. They're in peak state already. I said, the point of this exercise that I'm teaching you, the point of this culture, the point of this way of life, and this is where your answer is, Crystal. The point of this way of life is to have more done before regular people wake up than they will do for the entire day. Have more done in the morning before they wake up than they are going to do for the entire day. So before they eat, before the normal person even wakes up, while they're still swiping, stuff out of their eyes and coughing and, trying to stretch at the line and wake themselves up, shake off the cobwebs and go get coffees and butter rolls, we've already meditated, prayed. I hope I didn't leave that out. We've meditated, we've prayed, and we've worked our entire body, stimulating the mind, stimulating the senses, spent time with family. It's phenomenal. And then after that, we would go home. They would take a full body shower, get ready for school. We would sit down. Then I would have them read in a circle. So while they were waiting for the food to be done, they would be reading books in a circle. So they would read 1 page, 2 page, and then pass. 1 page, 2 page, and then pass. 1 page, 2 page, and then pass. This is what I did with my children. And when I tell you that it works, it works. I can't give them something that I'm not doing myself. So that's how you develop a full day routine. First, design your ideal life. Who do you want to be? How much do you want to weigh? How do you want to look? How do you want to feel? And then do you want to have a spiritual life? Do you want to have that relationship with your higher power? Do you want to be calm throughout the day? Or do you want to be anxious, reactionary, jumping, skittish? Do you want to be able to concentrate, focus your energy? Do you want to feel strong and powerful? And if so, then incorporate those practices. Incorporate those practices. Wake up early so that you can get it off your plate. Let me say this, you win the day by winning the morning. You win your day by winning your morning. The way you do anything is how you do everything. God is in the details. God is in the details. So is the devil. I can tell a person's morning routine when I see them and how they perform. I can tell a person's morning routine, and I can also dictate almost precisely what their bank account looks like by their morning routine. You tell me what you do in the morning, I'll tell you what your bank account looks like. I'll also tell you what your future looks like. High performers share something in common. And that something in common is MYM. MYM. Master your morning. Do at least 3 things. Do at least 3 things consistently in the morning and be consistent. This is the thing. People don't have discipline throughout the day because they don't have discipline in the morning. They wake up and it's like the bed just kicks them out, or they roll off the bed and pick themselves up off the floor. That's the only push-up that they do, is pushing themselves up off the floor. People almost wake up by mistake. People almost wake up by mistake, and then they try to stay in the bed. The moment you wake up, get out the bed and get to work. People are like, well, I'm going to work. No, get to work on you. Jim Rohn said the success will be gotten when you work more on you than you do on your job, which means before you get to your job, you've got to already have done hours of work on you. Or you can live for your job and see how much life your job pours into you. It's really up to you. Who you want to be, what do you want to be known for, how do you want to feel, what do you want your future to look like, and design your morning to suit that. Prayer, meditation, heavy exercise, serious exercise, reading. Those are some things that I do. Those are some things that I do. And those are also the things that we teach. So affirmations, yoga, exercise, reflection, prayer. Those are things that you just have to, it charts your course. It sets the course. I want you to think about a plane. A plane can almost be flown without a pilot. A plane can, I don't want you to feel uncomfortable on a plane, but a plane can almost be flown without a pilot based on the coordinates and the way the dials and the valves are set. That's what you do when you set your morning intentionally and you live your morning decisively with intention. You chart the course. And you don't have to work so hard when you've already charted the course. All you have to do is really monitor. When you chart the course and you take off, all you have to do really is monitor. All the pilot is there for is to monitor and make sure that everything's flowing according to plan. And then when things do happen, like turbulence, or when bad things do happen, all they have to do is come back in alignment and then leave it alone again. Come back in alignment. When you set your morning, you set your day, you build your future with focus. That's how you start a morning routine. That's how you set it in place. And the way it becomes natural and permanent is consistent practice. That's it. Be consistent.
Definitely. Practice builds permanence.
Sure does.
Practice builds permanence. Thank you so
And try
much.
to have,
Thank you so
I'm sorry,
much.
I got to say one more thing. Try to have
Yeah.
more done. Try to have more done before normal people wake up than they're going to do in their entire day. Or you might trip and land on a normal life. And I've heard it's not that fascinating.
All right. Definitely. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Guys, just want to say thank you so much. Send a quick shout out. I see we have Carla Anderson. Thank you for coming through. Imani.
Good morning. Good
Let me just
morning.
check who we have. Yeah, Imani. Good morning. I see we have Chantel Haynes. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, Gentle. Good morning. Charmaine, Tracy, Jackie. We have a few comments. Guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the comments. If you have any questions, we are taking questions. So Imani has a comment. She says, discipline is about leaning into resistance, taking action in spite of how you feel, living life by design, not by default, but most importantly, it's acting in accordance with your thoughts, not feelings. Samuel Thomas Davis.
I'm gonna take that. Not by design, not by default. I like that. I'm
Yeah,
writing it
yeah.
down. Go
That
ahead.
was really good.
Uh-huh.
That was really good. That was really good. You want me to read it again?
Nope. I got it. Live your life by design, not
Okay.
by default. Yeah.
All right. Nice, nice. So good morning. Good morning. So Jackie says, love that. It reminds me, rich people do what's hard. That's why their lives are easy. Poor people do what's easy. That's why their lives are hard. All
Let's
right.
go. Let's go. Let's
All
go.
right. Let's grow.
That's another one.
Thank
That's
you.
another
Okay.
one. Go ahead. Let's go.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Definitely, guys. Keep the comments coming, guys. Keep them coming. All right. Carla says good morning. So good morning to
Good
you,
morning.
Carla. Thank you for tuning in. Let's see. Let's see. Any more comments, guys? If you have any questions, please feel free to put them down. So while we wait for that, I'm gonna get into the next question. While we wait for that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is from Cheyenne from the Bronx. So how do you get started in business when there is so much negativity around you?
First off, shout out to the BX. Shout out to the what they call it, the boogie down, right? Shout out to the BX, the boogie down.
Boogie down in the building.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Okay. So how do you get started when there's so much negativity around you? Perception is a choice. Perception is a choice. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. Some people, watch this. I want to show you this real quick. You're going to be like, wow. It's so simple, but it's so true. Some people see a glass half empty. Some people see a glass half full. Don't take this personally. Don't take this personally, please. Take this professionally. You don't even see, watch this, you don't even see whether the glass is half empty or the glass is half full. What you see is you. You don't even see if the glass is half empty or if the glass is half full. What you see is you. If the glass is half empty, that's how you think. That's how you move. If the glass is half full, that's how you think. That's how you move. That's your perspective. Perspective is a choice. Perspective is a choice. I'm from Harlem, the real Harlem, the old Harlem, right? Where it was absolutely phenomenal or absolutely terrible and horrific, depending on how you chose to view it. Some people went on to be scholars and doctors. Some people went on to die at the age of 16 and 35 and spend their lives in prison. What made the difference, right? What made the difference was how they viewed the cup. You view the world the way you view the cup. The world views you the way you view the cup. Your business responds to you the way you view the cup. So it's really never a question of, is the glass half empty or is the glass half full? The real question is, are you full or are you empty? And if you're full, what are you full of?
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Guys, what do you think about that? What do you think about what Shaan just said? Put it in the comments.
Let me
What
say
do
one
you
more
think
thing
about what
too.
Shaan just said?
Let me say one
Go
more
ahead.
thing too, Junior, because I don't want it to be, like I said, please don't take that personally. Take it professionally. It'll get you exactly where you need to go. An EKG machine goes up and down. An EKG machine is what they hook up to you when you go to the hospital to read your vitals. And it goes up and down. And what it does is it tells you that you're still alive. It tells you that you're still alive. We know phenomenal people that are going through job loss, economic disparity, loss of life, loss of relatives, loss of loved ones, up and down. And I've been in all of those places and we'll go through them consistently. This is life. What the EKG does is it lets you know that you're still alive when there's a flat line. When there's no negativity around you, you're no longer present. You're no longer present. So look for the negativity, acknowledge the negativity, feed on the negativity, and let it propel you to greater heights. That's that piece that Imani was talking about when she said going against the resistance. If there's no resistance present and you're living a cushioned, so-called perfect life, you might want to pinch yourself or poke yourself with a needle because you might be dead. I think I'm going to leave it with that, right? I don't want to get too deep into it, but poke yourself if you don't have any negativity. And prepare yourself because it's coming, hopefully, if you're still amongst the living. Ups and downs are what lets you know that you're still alive. You're supposed to be there. Use it.
Very true.
Use it as a fuel. Use it as a fire. Let it fan and fuel your passion. That's what I'm going to say.
Nice. Nice. So it's all about the perception.
That's it.
It's all about the perception. And to
Yes,
just add on to what you just said very quickly, what you recognize, you energize and magnetize, right? What you recognize, you energize and magnetize, right? So
Hold on.
what are you going to magnetize? Guys,
So
put
you're
some
saying,
names in the chat.
yeah.
What
So
you
what you're saying is
recognize,
when you recognize it, you energize it, and then you bring more of it to you.
exactly. So when you what you recognize, you energize and you magnetize, right? Make sure when you tweet that, make sure you give me credit. Okay?
That's right. That's
When you
right.
tweet that, make sure you give me credit.
Good stuff. Good
All
stuff.
right, nice, nice. Yes, sir. We have one more question.
Very
One
good.
more question. Guys, if you do have any questions, please feel free to put it in the chat. Okay. So this next question is actually from Donald, right? Donald from Texas. Donald from Texas. So let's see. Let's see
Donald?
what Donald.
Donald or
So,
Donna?
yeah. No, Donald. Donald.
Okay.
Donald. Right. So Donald says, "Hey Shaan, thank you for taking my question. Right.
You're
Over the
welcome.
past 10 years, I have unfortunately done many things that have painted me as no good. I've been in jail, I've sold drugs, and I'm guessing he's been convicted.
Okay.
How do I now get into business?"
Wow. That's a really, really good question. That's a really good question. And I want to make a statement, right? I want to say that everybody's done something. Everybody's done something. Everybody has a past, right? And I also want to say that everyone who has a past has a future. That's first. Write that down. Everyone who has a past has a future. And if that's the fact, then you also know that everyone that you see has had a past. So that's my story is that I was just a kid from Harlem, am a kid from Harlem who God chose to show his favor and mercy through. I grew up in the late 80s, early 90s, and I made a lot of the wrong decisions in that space. And I suffered a lot of the consequences, most of the consequences that come from making bad decisions in that space. So you're not alone. You're not alone. And if people can come back from that, which everyone that you see in a good situation or what you perceive to be a good situation has come back from something. Some people much worse than others. Let me tell you that your story is not the worst. Your story is not the worst. I know of multimillionaires who are convicted murderers, but they don't live that way anymore. A lot of times when you come up a certain way, it's because of your surroundings. In school, they call it ecology. In regular lingo, they call it the environment. The environment that you're raised in sometimes produces the person, and sometimes the person plus the environment produce the results, but you also have to add the perspective there. And when you get older, you have a different perspective. Maturity allows for growth. Unfortunately, a lot of people die or do something so heinous or so negatively perceived that they don't get the chance to let their maturity change their perspective. They become a victim at 45 and 55 from decisions that they made when they were 16 and still children, right? What I want you to understand is that as long as you have breath, you have life. And as long as there is life, there is hope. As long as you have breath, there is life. And as long as you have life, there is hope. We don't get to choose. And I wrote this in my book, The 7 Prerequisites to Success. We don't get to choose who our parents were, but we do get to choose who our children's parents will be. So what does that mean? You're constantly writing your book. You're constantly writing your book. Every single day, you write more pages in your book. Now, whether those pages entail actions that came from your past, came from your environment, or come from a phenomenal future and come from who you want to be or who you're developing into, depend on you and the way that you move the pen. The way that you move the pen. How do you start your business? You start. How do you start your business? You start. How do you get into a good relationship? You get into one, and then you build it. You build it day by day. You build it move by move. You build it hour by hour, minute by minute, decision by decision, action by action. How do you build your network? Person by person. Person by person. Listen, you're not alone, Donald. I know that background. I know what it looks like. I've been one of those people, and I work with those people consistently. I am still one of those people who grew up in Harlem, late 80s, early 90s, made a lot of the wrong decisions, and was shown grace and mercy. I believe that if your heart is pure, your intention is to be of good, then God will show you the same grace and mercy that he has shown to me. But you have to get started. You have to get started. And you cannot let your past dictate your future. You cannot let your past dictate your future or taint your future. So you have to have belief, faith, and focus. BFF, your BFF, what do they say? Best friends for life. Your BFF is going to be belief, faith, and focus, and then work. As long as you believe that you can change, as long as you believe that you can redeem yourself, as long as you believe that you can be of good, as long as you have faith that you can change your outcome, as long as you have faith that you can change your life, get a good name where you may have had a tainted one, as long as you have faith that there is hope, promise, and possibility in the future, which I guarantee you there is. And then if you have focus, if you can focus, and then if you add discipline to the focus, you add compassion to the focus, you add passion and tenacity and energy and positive emotion to that focus, you'll wake up tomorrow and won't even remember last year or the last 5. And don't worry about people that judge you. Don't worry about people that try to hold you beholden or accountable to what you did 10 years ago. That's foolishness and immaturity. Let them judge you by what you do in the next 10. And let me say one more thing about that. I'll say one more thing about this, and I want everybody to understand this. Listen, if you've ever been touched the wrong way, if you've ever made the wrong decision, if someone has ever taken advantage of you, whether you were an adult or a child, if you ever made a mistake, you cannot go forward looking in the rearview mirror. So get out of that. Get out of that. Looking forward is promise. Looking backwards is emotion. You get emotional. It serves no purpose other than to provide a lesson that you can utilize while moving forward. So move forward. Make your BFF, belief, faith, and focus. That's how. It doesn't make a difference what you've been through, brother. I promise you, it doesn't make a difference what you've been through. The only thing that makes a difference is where you're going and what your intention is. Let's grow. I hope that helps. If not, get in contact with my people. If not, get in contact with my people, because my people are your people. This is what we do. We change lives, change narratives, and create phenomenal businesses. I'm glad you sent that. Hey, I'm going to give you a round of applause just for sending the question, because it's not easy. It's not easy, and that's how you do it, step by step, incremental, step by step. Reach out. So that's what I'm going to tell you too. Reach out. Listen, guys, if you're watching this right now and you made a mistake, if you did something wrong, if somebody said you couldn't do it, if somebody took advantage of you, if you're a single mother, if you had a child when you was 15, if you dropped out of school when you were 17, 15, 14, 13, reach out to us. Let us show you how to build a business, and not a small business, but a phenomenal business where you can help other people like yourself to create phenomenal businesses and create phenomenal narratives and create phenomenal futures for your children and for theirs. Let's grow. This is what we do. We change the narrative. We're not beholden to anything that we did in the past. We are beholden to a phenomenal future. We are beholden to a phenomenal future. And that is one that we create with every decision that we make. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Shaan Rais, and this has been another edition of The Breakfast with the Brand. Let's grow.